guys, my name is Megan and today I've got some of my favorite cozy fantasy recommendations for you. Alright, so today we're talking about cozy fantasy and some of my favorites that are not legends and lattes. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First up, I'd like to recommend The Snake Who Loved a Sparrow. This is a manga following a snake and a sparrow who have they're two opposite groups of people that don't really mix, and there's a lot of animosity between them until these two meet accidentally while they're both out gathering things, and the sparrow rescues the snake from a tree, and an eagle that was trying to take him away. They form an unlikely friendship, as well as just kind of starting a little tiny bit of a crush, and it's really, really sweet. This one is not for those under 18 though, and it's about overcoming prejudice and learning to be better and learning to live together, and maybe this person's not quite as bad as they seem. It's really cute, and again, not for those under 18. Next up, I'd like to recommend A Psalm for the Wild build. This is one that gets recommended quite a bit, but I feel like this fits really well with a cozy fantasy kind of a vibe. This is following Dex, who is a tea monk, and they go around to all these different villages and towns with their tea cart, and they listen to people's problems and just are there to be a shoulder to lean on, somebody to listen to your problems. And one day they feel that they're not doing well at that, so they're going to take a little bit of a sabbatical and go off the beaten trail into the woods, and there they meet a robot. Now, in this fantasy world, robots have kind of become sentient, and they wandered off 200 years ago to live their own lives. And this world has kind of become solar punk, but cozy. So Dex meets this robot in the wild, and this robot asks what humans need. And Dex tells him that that answer depends on who you ask and when you ask and a whole bunch of other factors. So they decide that they're going to help each other. And this book is also one that I would recommend if you are having a quarter life crisis or that kind of thing. Next up, for a really fun one, I'd like to recommend The Flowered Blade. This is really fun. This is following an autistic trans elf prince as they are captured by the orc chief and held hostage until there's some negotiations on trade and that kind of thing. And these two do not like each other when they first meet, and it kind of turns into from an enemies to lovers situation, and these two kind of start bonding over plants and things, and it's really, really fun. And I don't really want to spoil it too much, but this is one of my favorite, this is one of my current favorite bookish obsessions. This book is just fantastic all the way around, and it's a really great romance. This one is definitely not for those under 18. So next up, I'd like to recommend the Mead Mishap series. The first one is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. This is a fantasy series that does not take itself too seriously. It's funny, it's very smutty. This first one is following Cinnamon, and she does not want to be the chosen one, and when the chosen one is chosen, her village has a party, and Cinnamon gets drunk, and on her way home, she rescues a demon, and that sets her off on an entire adventure of freeing every single demon in this world from being stuck under a curse. And she makes a whole bunch of new demon friends along the way, and she brings them home with her. And it's the funniest thing I've read that was a fantasy book in a very long time. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and you will die laughing. And then the last one for my cozy fantasy recs is going to be You Can't Spell Treason Without T. This is following Reyna, who is a Queen's Guard, and Keonth, who is a mage, the Mage of Ages, whatever. They've kind of fallen in love with each other, and Reyna is finally ready to quit her position as a Queen's Guard, so they run away together to a very tiny little mountain town, and they decide they are going to take over an old abandoned bandit hut and turn it into a bookshop and plant store and a coffee shop. And it's like the cozy small town bookstore coffee shop romance that you didn't know that you needed, with fantasy elements and dragons and griffins, and I'm here for this. Alright, so those are some of my cozy fantasy recommendations that are not legends and lattes. What's your guys' current favorite cozy fantasy books? Let me know down below. Also, if you have any recommendations, let me know. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button if you haven't already but would like to. Go hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.